Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sorelle Unhinged, and it is a rainy day today. So if you hear the rain, just consider it our little white noise for you, relaxation.
We take you along in all conditions that we experience on the road.
That's right.
But can we just talk about the fact that it is nearly the end of May and we are in sweatshirts and pants?
Yeah, I'm not happy about it.
What is going on?
I don't know, but the weather in Pennsylvania right now is just beyond anything that I could have ever imagined. Like, it honestly feels like it's October.
Yeah, we had such a good run. We had like weeks, like it was hot. I was like, yes, need summer clothes. It was sunny. We were outside every day after the kids were done with school. And now I'm back into like my winter. I don't like it.
Yeah, and I just ordered like all these new clothes and I can't wear any of them because this weather sucks.
How depressing.
Yeah, it really is. It's not a fun time. And I'm like, I hope this isn't an indication of how the weather all summer is going to be.
Even. If it's going to be one of those rainy summers, I'm not going to know what to do with myself because I need the sunshine.
Yeah, I know. I feel you. So I'm like, I'm very excited that we'll be going on vacation in a couple weeks because
It's going to be so hot. I looked ahead.
I know. I'm so excited.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's like my hobby is laying in the sun.
Yeah.
Which is not something you hear from many aesthetic providers, but it's mine.
I just like to feel like the warmth of the sun on my skin. You know, like I'm an SPFer, you know, I'm like literally SPF 100 out there. But like, I just like the warmth of the sun on my skin. But I'm not like an oceaner, so I'm like toes deep. That's about it. I'll be poolside.
Well, you know, it's not depressing anymore. My man Breezy was freed.
That's right. Chris Brown is out. He's out.
On a lot of bail.
On a lot of money. A $6.7 million bail.
Guys, you see? I told you. All they wanted was his money. So, basically, he has to pay like some kind of security deposit. He had to pay $5 million yesterday. And then he has to pay $1 million in a week. Just to ensure that he's not going to like leave. He has to hand over his passport except for tour travel. So they're allowing him to go start his tour on June 8th.
Okay.
He can travel because his first tour, like the first start, is in Amsterdam.
Okay.
So he's Amsterdam, Germany, like those kind of places. Then he's back to the UK for like 2 shows in Manchester.
Gotcha.
So they basically said he can do that tour travel, but that is it. And he has to provide a permanent residence location in the United Kingdom to the courts. Like wherever, whether it's the hotel or whatever it's going to be, he has to provide them with where he's permanently going to be staying, like during that time.
Oh.
And if he doesn't do any of that, then like he's like done. However, this is not like the end because he has to be back in court then on June 20th for the trial. So June 20th is in between. Like he's got a show on the 19th and the show on the 21st, and on the 20th in between, he's going to court for this issue.
Oh my
So
God.
yesterday they made this decision. The judge made the decision that he reapplied for bail on like the 20th, and then yesterday they granted that bail. He didn't have to be there.
Okay.
He was not there. So I'm hoping that like this is kind of like a view into the future, that they understand that like whatever they're accusing him of is not what they think it is, and that he's going to be found innocent.
Yeah.
Or even if not, they'll let him finish his tour.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if he has to go back to jail, then wait till after his tour. I don't know. I'm hoping for the best. Team Breezy people are like strong fighters for this guy. So, and he went right to Insta right after he got out.
No way.
He said, from the cage to the stage, Breezy Bull. So I love that guy.
Oh my God.
Never. You cannot knock that guy down.
Yeah.
So, I'm here for it. Yesterday was a great day.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh,
I was
living her best life here.
I was on the Facebook articles all day,
Mm-hmm.
reading every last one of them. Also, I was seeing, I don't have much information about it, but apparently Cassie's mom took the stand at the Diddy trial.
I did hear that.
And someone made mention, like, Cassie's mom just put the nail in his coffin. So I want to do further research into seeing what she said.
Yeah.
But, like, the whole case is so disgusting.
Oh my God,
like, overall, like, the entire situation is such a dark, sick. The man is sick.
Yeah.
The man is disturbing.
Yeah.
So, like, I try, like, as much as I want to know what's going on, at the same time, I'm like, God, like, how much of this can you, like, listen to? Because it's so sick.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, I'm sure that once this is over, like, Netflix is already going to do some type of, like, special, don't you think?
Yeah, hands down. Someone's going to have to.
Yeah.
Someone's going to definitely do. I've already been seeing things like the Diddy trial, like, I don't know. I haven't watched them yet because I'm watching so many other things, but, yeah, there's been some stuff. But, like, it goes both ways. Like, would you want to be a juror on that trial?
I don't know. Like, I don't think so. I mean, I just think it would be, like, kind of disturbing to sit there and listen to all these details. So I don't think, like, and I'm one of those people that I'm like, ugh, like, sometimes, like, watching, like, these, like, documentaries and everything like that, they kind of scare me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think I would want to.
So part of me is like, oh yeah, I want to be on that trial, like, because I want to know all the inside information. However, I would not get past the first interview because, like, these jurors are not allowed to talk about anything that's going on. Like, I'd be flapping my lips to anybody that would listen about the information. So I'd have to be like, hey, first of all, like, you don't want me because I'm telling everyone that's going to listen about what just occurred in here today.
Right.
But, like, some people have been saying they wouldn't want to be on the panel, like the jury panel, because they don't doubt that he does not have people researching every juror. And if they find him guilty, that he's going to hunt them down and kill them.
Yeah.
So they're like, hell no, I wouldn't want to be on that.
God, that's so true. I didn't even think about that.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Kind of leads me into, like, people that don't know me don't understand that I am a person that hops into conspiracy theories. Right. And I'll kind of, like, dive down the hole and I'll run with it, and I'm very easily swindled into believing that that is true. Mm-hmm. Do you believe in conspiracy theories?
So I do, to a point. Like, I think there is definitely, like, always some truth behind some type of, like, conspiracy theory, right? I don't know if, like, in part they're, like, fully truthful, right? But I always think there's some truths to a conspiracy theory.
So is there one, like, pretty, like, well-known conspiracy theory that you believe in?
Yeah, like, okay, like, for instance, like, aliens, right?
Yeah.
They always are saying, like, the UFOs and this and that and all this kind of stuff, and they're like, the government's hiding Area 51, and they know about alien beings that have, like, made contact, and they make contact, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely think there's truth to that.
So you believe there's aliens among us?
Oh, without a doubt. Like, I don't know if, like, among us as in, like, they look like people, but I think that there has definitely been contact made by, like, our government and, like, an alien life form that, like, has been covered up. I do.
Are you a flat earther?
No, definitely not.
No, the earth is round. We've seen
The earth is round.
We've, like, literally seen it.
Yes, for God's sake. But
what about landing on the moon? Do you believe that we did not?
I think that, okay, so this one is kind of like a could it be, couldn't it be? I don't know that I believe that for the first time. I think that we've gone there since, but I just don't know.
Do you believe Neil Armstrong landed on the moon?
I don't know. Like,
yeah. I was listening to another podcast, and they were saying that Neil Armstrong himself basically admitted that it was fake.
Right, and so, like, if there's, like, a video, right, of him doing it, and I feel like it could have been the technology or anything like that at the time, but it looks like it was, like, fabricated.
Yeah, they said it looks like a movie set.
Right, and, like, there was something too about the flag flailing in the wind, but they were like, in space there shouldn't be wind.
Yeah.
Right, so like kind of like a oh shit moment, like waving flag in the wind. And also was the issue of like gravity, like how did we put the flag in?
Right, it would float.
Right. And like what is the moon made out of that you could literally stick a flag in it?
Right, I thought it was a
rock.
So.
Right.
So yeah, that's one. I feel like that's a big one that people talk about. But I feel more like my conspiracy theories are like I believe that dog food companies are in cahoots with veterinarians, and I'm sorry if there's veterinarians listening to this, but I truly believe that they like over the years have made shit dog food that make dogs ill so that they have to go to the vet more and that dogs are dying early or getting all these diseases because we are feeding them this shit kibble and that really like dogs should be eating like farmer's dog or fresh food or stuff that is human grade. Like just because they're an animal, why are we feeding them disgusting stuff?
Well, because like in the wild, right? Like if dogs were in the wild, they would eat like squirrels and like shit like that, you know? Like they wouldn't be like looking amongst like cornfields for kibble.
Same with Same with like vaccinations for dogs, or not vaccinations necessarily because I know they need those, but like the heartworm and the flea and tick, and like there's always a new one, and then like that company has got that vet to like say, oh, you need this one, and then you come to find out it's giving dogs seizures and all this like bad stuff. Like you said, in the wild, dogs aren't being protected from fleas and ticks. Like, no, and then like I've been to like vets where they're offended when you go, well, I just use like the flea and tick oil, or I'm using the collar. They're like mad, because they're not getting paid off of that money, or like I'm just gonna stick to the usual like heart guard by itself. We're not mixing them together. Like my breeder specifically put that there was one drug I could not give Bernadette. Like do not give it to her. And they tried to give it to us on her first puppy visit.
I honestly don't agree with those medications for my animals. And I mean, maybe it's just me, but I really fear that we don't know what they're doing to their body, you know, and like, have they been tested enough? Because who, truthfully, provides like their animals to be a test monkey basically for these medications? Like I wouldn't offer up my animal to be like a test in a research trial for a new medication. Like I wouldn't. Maybe people have, but I'm just like, how well researched are they amongst like test groups before they're issued to market? Probably not well. So then they get to market, and you're like, oh shit, dogs are just dropping dead from seizures or heart attacks or all this kind of stuff, and you're like, well, I mean, I would still recommend it, like because of, you know, ticks.
But they get a kickback. It's almost like drug reps for people. They come into doctor's offices and they're like, oh, you have to, you know, start giving this one instead. Like, why don't you give mine or whatever? You know what I mean? So it's just like how people like win you over. But when the man like who delivered Bernadette to our house, he literally was like, if you want your dog to live longer, get her off of the kibble as soon as possible. As soon as possible. And you've even seen stuff from like Bunny's Buddies where they were like, these are the only kibbles that we would ever recommend. Right.
And it's because they're made with like human grade ingredients. And like made in like real kitchens rather than like these big warehouses. And I just don't feel like, even like for ourselves, like mass produced food in general and processed foods in general, they're not great. Like obviously we eat them. Like I love Velveeta. It ain't real cheese, obviously, but we eat it, but also like limiting it, right? But like for our animals, if we're feeding them this processed kibbles every day, twice a day, we're not limiting it. They're literally getting full force processed food twice a day, every day.
There's like no nutrients in there, and like I most people know, like I truly love dogs more than most people. So like I'm spending the extra on my dog. Like my dog is a part of my family. I'm giving them good stuff, and like I even notice when I give the dogs like kibble, or when I make like the food in the crock pot, like Penelope gets so much more energy.
Yeah.
Like she is like happier. She's not so sluggish and laying around. Like she is like, and she loves it. She loves homemade food.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, even just like think about us. So like when we eat better, we have more energy, right? So like for them,
we're not a stomach ache. You know, like you feel better when you eat healthier food.
Yeah.
Now, completely off to a different tangent. Do you feel that the government listens to us through our phone?
I do think there's truth to that, but I don't think it's like there's someone behind like every seat being like, I'm listening right now to yada yada yada. Like I think there's truth to it, but like almost that they can tap in, right? That they have the ability to tap in. But I think that what people like say are like your phones are constantly like listening to. Yeah, no, they sure as shit are.
Yeah.
There's like settings on your phones that allow your phone to be listening to your conversations, and then lo and behold, you go on Instagram and there's an ad for that. Like, you know, the exercise machine you were just talking about. I think that's all kind of like a marketing tactic, right? Through using certain like algorithms. So I don't think that's like government. I think that's just phone like algorithms, like and phone settings that almost like provide you with what you were thinking about and what you were talking about, and they're like, well, here it is.
Yeah, I kind of am on the same page with you. Now, like the conspiracy theory I'm going all the way with is that Katy Perry is John Benet Ramsey.
So this, okay, actually talking about Katy Perry, so this was like, I guess like a weird thing she like did at her concert right now. She's like on tour, and she like staged this like very awkward like interaction like with someone like in the front row, and she was like, you stop DMing my man Orlando Bloom, like he's mine, I'm his wife. And she's like, yeah, I know who you are, you're not here to see me, you're here because of Orlando. And like it was very awkward and weird, and everyone was like, what was the purpose of this? It just seemed so bizarre. So like I still would like to know like what that was about and why.
So I was listening to Justin Anderson talk with Kristen yesterday on their podcast, and he is a celebrity hairstylist, or he was. He really doesn't do it anymore. But he has done Katy Perry's hair, and he said like she is nice enough, but she is odd. Like she is strange. He said she is like very, very dorky.
Yeah.
And he said she's like the type of like he's like, she's done it to me more than once, and like she's one of those people that he feels like has to kind of like put people in their place in like a very nonchalant way. Like she said, like if you see someone and they're dressed up, and like you know how some people are like, oh, fancy. Yeah. Like he said that she will do that. Like she'll look and she was like, oh my god. Ooh. What was that?
Oh, just our table fell over.
Oh, okay.
We'll fix it.
She'll be like, oh, 3 of those gold bracelets? Okay. Like, and then, like, he, like, did her hair. Like, so that's what happened when he met her at a party for the first time. She said about his bracelets. And then when she came in for him to do her hair, she said the same thing. And he was like, what the hell? Like, okay, so this is just what she does. Like, she has to, like, put people, like, oh, someone's rich. And he's like, yeah, I am. Like, I do all for myself. Like, so she was making all these, like, comments. But I'm telling you guys, if you take the dark hair off and you put the faces side by side, that is John Benet Ramsey. I don't care what anybody says.
So, okay, here's a step further for you. This wouldn't make any sense. But, this wouldn't make any sense. But, is there a possibility that she was a staged murder that certain authorities were involved with in order to get her out of the limelight because someone was threatening her
Right,
life?
so and that's what they said.
So was
But
she
then
a
they put her back
staged
in the limelight?
murder, right? But like, did she possibly get, and this is so bizarre, given to another family because of the fact that someone was after her, right? And like, her parents did this in order to save her.
Right.
But then it just so happened that like she is kind of like
Famous anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
But in a different way.
I don't know, but the faces are very much similar.
Yeah.
Very much similar. Call me kooky. I don't care. The signs are there.
Yeah. There was another one though that I didn't strongly believe you
Yeah,
said.
Paul Walker is not JD Vance. I don't believe that. But
Not even a little
I
bit.
don't know if I'm out yet on Princess Diana being Melania Trump.
I am out on that. They don't look anything alike. Like, and their ages wouldn't even match.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
but what I do feel, right, is that like there's certain people that I believe are still alive.
Okay, so these are the conspiracy theories I love.
Yeah.
Like they
Our
say
table on its side.
they say Tupac is alive.
Yeah.
And I don't know the name of the guy that they say he is, but he's
Yeah.
got like these long braids.
Yeah.
And like literally the face is identical.
Yeah. He does look a lot like him. Like I can see that one, and their age would be around the same
Yes.
age. So I think, is he in Jamaica? I think he might be in Jamaica.
Okay, I heard he's waiting to come out until Diddy is behind bars.
Yeah. So,
And if so, then mind blown, man.
right. So that could be. The other one too is Michael Jackson.
Yes, I've heard that.
I've
He's
heard
not
that, and
dead.
there's a video of him walking.
Out of the van.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Yes, the van that was supposed to be taking him to the morgue. There is
Yes.
a video when they pull in the parking garage, they open the back door and he hops out.
Right. So, I mean, I could see that too. And the other one, okay, and maybe this one's not true, and maybe this is just hopeful, but that Paul Walker's still alive, so that was like
That
a
I didn't
stage
hear.
thing.
Yeah, but they say he's JD Vance. I don't believe
Don't believe
Don't
that.
believe for a second.
But I mean,
Where would he be?
I don't know. Somewhere really nice and tropical. I don't know.
More like Brian Laundrie's still alive.
That one, 100% believe that he is still alive because of that video. That was a live video that he was on a boat
After
he was supposed to be dead.
Yep, he clicked on and turned off the boat in the middle of the ocean.
Yep.
However, Gabby Petito's mom was just on the squeeze, and she said, I know a lot of people say that, like, he's still alive. She was like, she claims that it was more than the dental records, that they basically found every part of his body except for 2 small foot bones, and that he is confirmed dead. However, she said they got new information recently that she wanted to share, that before he was found, it was found at the parents' home that his room was already completely wiped clean of all of his belongings and renovated. So she believes that the mom or the dad actually is the one that killed him to protect themselves from going to jail for like being an accessory to the murder. So she was like, and I do believe it's a mom because she didn't cry a single tear at any of these like dispositions or anything.
So do you think then that letter that she wrote him was a staged letter
Probably.
to make it look like she was helping him?
Yeah.
Like, and that she wouldn't be responsible for this? Because it seems odd that they knew exactly where to find his body.
Absolutely, and that's what her mom said. She's like, it's just so weird to me that they knew exactly where the backpack was, and then like literally steps away they found his body remains or whatnot. Like, yeah,
And how did he apparently die?
Suicide.
Was it...
I feel like they said, did he shoot himself? I don't know.
I was going to say, was it a gunshot?
I feel like that's what they had said. And then, like, there was so much flooding that they believe animals, like, ate his remains in this park in Florida.
Or were they aware that he was going to kill himself? And they just kind of, like, let it happen.
So it could do that. It could be that. It could be that they already cleaned out his room because they had already set up for him to go to another country on a boat, and they just cleaned up his stuff. You know what I mean? I more so am on that path.
Yeah.
I think he's out there somewhere under a whole new name.
I think so too.
In another country.
I don't care what they found. I agree. He's out there. He's out there. I don't believe it. I don't believe that he's not.
No, it's just too weird, and like just the light turning in. Like she said, he was always weird, but like kind of like nice enough, like is what she was saying. But she did make note because like after we watched that story on Netflix about Gabby, like we all said the same thing, kind of like the police in Utah where they got pulled over like kind of did her wrong, and like even her mom says she does feel like she would still be alive today if that would have been handled differently.
Correct.
And that they did not stay separated for the whole night. They know based on text messages that they ended up meeting up that night.
Yep.
Even though they were put in separate places. Right. She was like, she didn't want to stay alone in a van by herself. She should have been the one in the hotel. That's
and honestly, like, they, listen, like, coulda, shoulda, woulda, and I know, like, I'm sure there was a lot of things that they could have done differently. I think the most disheartening thing is that, like, you see her sitting there blaming herself repeatedly, saying it's all my fault, this is all my fault. Like, that should raise a red flag immediately.
Right.
When he's sitting over there laughing about her and saying, like, basically, like, oh yeah, like, you know, she's like crazy, like, and laughing with the officers about it while she's over there a mess.
However, the witness that called it in saw him slapping her.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So none of that was taken into consideration, and it was like him manipulating the police into like, yeah, like she does this, and oh, ha ha ha, and like there she is, like, it's all my fault, and she can't calm herself, and like, I know it's me. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, the only good thing like that has come is that the mom did say that police force in Utah now has very strict rules that they have to follow and questions that they need to ask and things that have to go on before they can make any decisions.
Right, and like the way that I see that too is like you should never send a woman by herself into the woods in a van for the whole night.
Nope.
And truly, like, what they should have done is made sure that there was an officer monitoring all night long to make sure that they did not get back, and encouraged her to call her family, and like encourage the family to come and get her. Like, this is not working for either of them. I'm going to have you contact your family. I'm going to have you contact your family.
Yeah.
You guys, like, this is not working. Here's the line in the sand.
Yeah, road trip's over.
Road trip done. Go home.
Yeah. It's such a shame.
It is.
That documentary was
very eye-opening.
Yeah, it was. Because, like, especially when, like, she was doing the videos and you can see the way he was treating her on those, like, little, like, YouTube clips. Yeah. That was like, damn, that's wild.
Yeah.
And that's what her mom said. For us to, like, go back and watch those clips, we had no idea she was dealing with that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very scary. And I just, you know, I hope that eventually her family can kind of, like, find some peace, because it's just awful.
You know, so her mom said are doing a lot. They have the Gabby Petito Foundation.
Yeah.
And there's like a website, and on there is a lot of like almost like self-tests you can take to see if you are a victim of like abuse and whatnot. So she said she's gotten reached out from a lot of people that have been like thanks to your story, like I've had the courage to leave and stuff like that. So I mean, at least that is something. She like kind of puts herself into that.
Yeah.
But it's a sad situation.
Oh, without a doubt. Woo! All right, so we are almost back now to the office, so it's time to wrap it up.
If there's any conspiracy theories that you guys have, let us know, because I want to explore them. Yeah. I love exploring conspiracy theories and kind of like giving our opinion on them.
Yeah. So send us anything you got, and until next time,
stay on hand.